Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet Steven, who lives in this nice Ford, and we're going to learn all about him and take a tour of his rig. And I think we're all going to learn a lot. I think you've done a really amazing job of setting up his rig, and I think you're going to learn something today and be entertained. He's quite the guy. So Steven, tell how long have you been living in your van?
About 6 months.
And how did you end up living in a van?
Well, I was always kind of nomadic at heart. I was a storm chaser and spent a lot of time out on the road, the Great Plains primarily, Texas to Canada, during storm season. And I always found it really difficult to go home at the end of a storm chase. In fact, I've found myself just almost dragging, like driving home at 35 miles an hour because I just didn't want to go home. So it just reached the point economically where it made sense to hit the road and be out here full time. So now I'm still on the Great Plains storm chasing through storm season, but now in the summer I've moved up to the mountains, and then in the winter hope to head out to the desert Southwest.
Good, good. And join the tribe, the circuit?
Join the tribe, yes. I will join the tribe, and I'm enjoying the tribe.
Both at once?
Yes.
So what exactly is a storm chaser? I think we've all heard the term, but just to make sure we're all talking about the same thing.
Storm chaser, well, there are many different types of storm chasers. Some chase for the thrill of it. I chase for the art of it, and because I actually sell the work that I produce when I am storm chasing. And so I photograph and I film storms. I'm not selling it to the news channels. You don't typically see my footage on the Weather Channel or CNN in the evening. But if you go to the movies and you're in a movie house and you see a storm in the background of a film, or if you see a car commercial and you see a storm in the background of the car commercial, oftentimes that's my footage that has been composted into that image. So I shoot stock footage, extreme high resolution stock footage. In fact, some of my footage has been in IMAX films.
Oh wow.
So so I can produce IMAX quality 8K footage right in this van.
Oh wow. So when we go and take the tour, we'll see your setup and how you're doing your editing. And what are you using for a camera to get 8K?
Well, I have a Canon 5DSR, which shoots still images, 8,000 pixel still images. And I make my movies in post-production by taking hundreds or thousands of still images, putting them together to make a movie out of it. So this is commonly known as time-lapse filmmaking or time-lapse photography.
And by using a full-frame camera, you're getting that spectacular quality.
Exactly, anywhere from 4, 5, 6 on up to 8K.
Wow. And so that's you've been making a living with film and photography for some years now.
Yes.
And you started storm chasing just for the thrill of it and for the money of it.
Yes. Well, I started storm chasing because I used to live in Kansas City, and I would travel around Kansas, and I spent actually a couple of years driving around Kansas looking for interesting things to photograph. And let's be frank, it's a minimalist landscape.
Not much.
But one night, a storm blew up right at sunset, and I pointed my camera that way, and I said to myself, I wonder if I could take a picture of some lightning. And by golly, it turned out, and I've been hooked ever since.
It's I really love photography and videography because of the art and the brain power required and the physical activity. To me, it's just pure joy.
It's very physical. You see those big tripods I've got over here, and in fact, I'm going to shoot these aspens up over here the next evening, and I'm going to be hiking with some heavy gear up through the forest.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so you went out on your storm chasing, couldn't make yourself go back, and thought, why go back?
Yeah, really. I mean, I love the road. I really, really love the road. I love being out. I love the constant change. I love camping in places like this. I'd rather be in small town America or small campsite America than a big town. So I'm just, my grandfather actually lived in a van.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I want to kind of research it because I think he probably spent some time down in Quartzsite and areas like that. And I can remember the very first time he pulled up into my driveway when I was just a kid. I was probably 12 years old. He pulled up into the driveway in his van. Well, he had a camper at the time. I recall it was a camper on the back of a pickup. And he said, or somebody said, Grandpa lives in this. And that was stuck in my mind for my entire life. I thought to myself, you can live in a van. You can live in a van. My grandfather lived in a van. And so it's just funny how that sat back there in the back of my mind for years and years and years and years until finally...
You're living in a van. If Grandpa can, I can.
Yeah.
And so are you supporting yourself with your photography and
Yes.
videography?
Yes. Yes, I've been a professional artist my entire life, so this is what I do. And so I have figured out how to conduct my business online, which is that's how I sell my business, that's how I market my business, that's how I collect payment for my business. And I have, luckily, now that we're in the digital age, and fortunately, now that we can produce solar power up on top, I can be in a place like this for 3 weeks and just dedicate myself to nothing but filmmaking and off the grid, and just become wholly focused on producing a film or documenting or filming an area, and then share it with the world via an internet connection, which is sometimes not necessarily the best, but we work it out.
You can figure it out. So I've always found one eventually.
Right.
Maybe not right where I am, but
Right.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your van.
Well, Bob, this is a $900 van.
$900. Wow, looks good.
I bought it for $900. I bought it originally from a farmer who trucked organic produce back and forth from the farm to town. So you can imagine that when I first got it, it was dirty. And when I first got it, I was also on the art fair circuit. So I was traveling Chicago, Denver, St. Paul, Dallas. I was all over the country doing the art fair circuit, which is nomadic in of itself.
By itself.
And so the first couple of years I had this, after I cleaned all the topsoil out of it, I then hauled my art to art fairs. And now I've repurposed it again. I'm no longer using it as a cargo van for art. Now I'm using it as a mobile movie making station.
And home.
And home, yes, yes.
Cool. Okay, so would you mind giving us a tour of your van?
Yes.
Your van.
Footnote on home. Footnote on home. I don't regard this as home. I regard this as home.
Very good.
I sleep in this, and I use this to haul my wares to a particular place, such as this. But frankly, this is my home. I posted a picture of the sunrise in the forest on Facebook the other day, and I called it my backyard.
Right. People ask me all the time how I can live in such a small space. I said, well, I have a tiny home,
Right.
but I have an enormous backyard. I might have 100,000 acres, 1,000,000 acres
Yeah.
for a backyard.
Yeah.
And I can live with that.
And a ceiling of stars.
Yep. And that's good enough for me. Okay, so let's take a look around.
Okay.
Everyone out there, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and remember to always work less and dance more. That's the secret to life. Work less, dance more. We'll talk to you later.